Now we're going to talk about the bass clef. Okay, so again, we'll just kind of take a little step back here, but I will answer all the questions. Here we have 5 parallel lines again. So we know that's a musical staff. We don't know which staff it is yet. Okay, we need a symbol to say that. All right, so I have my 5 parallel lines. Again, I'd encourage you to write this out. And a lot of times people think of it as an ear. Okay, it looks a little bit like a ear. Looks like that. Okay, you'll also see 2 little dots here. Okay, so you want to include those 2 dots. So what we just wrote is called the bass clef. All right, so here's a picture of a bass. You think of bass, the bass plays in a bass clef. All right, this is a picture of a bass, the fish, spelled exactly the same way, pronounced differently. Okay, so bass is the fish, bass is an instrument or a clef. Now the saying for the bass clef, okay, is golf balls don't fly away. You may have some different sayings, and that's totally fine. If you come up with a creative saying, I always love to hear it. It's always kind of neat to hear some of the different sayings people come up with. All right, saying doesn't matter. What matters is you have the correct notes. Okay. And then in question 2, what I'm going to ask you to do is write the notes. You'll notice there are 5 notes here. So we're talking about the lines, the notes on the lines in the bass clef. All right. And they would be G, B, D, F, and A. And it's at this point, there's always somebody in the class that asks, well, if we're playing in the treble clef with the violin or the guitar, why do we have to learn the bass clef? And a good answer for that is there may be a time when you need to be able to, when a bass player is playing, be like, oh, okay, I'm going to double that, means play the same thing on my instrument. But you need to have a basic knowledge of how to read that so that you can play, maybe have a really cool line that you want to play together. Okay, you got something like that. But if you don't have a basic knowledge of how to read the bass clef, you don't have to be a stellar expert at it. But if you don't have a basic knowledge how to figure that out, it might be kind of hard to play that thing on your instrument. Okay. So last thing we'll look at the spaces. Okay, and the saying for that is all cows eat grass. And a good way to connect that to the other one is you think of people play golf on the grass, and cows also eat grass. Okay, I say that because a lot of times people get the sayings between the bass clef and the treble clef mixed up. Okay, bass clef, grass is on the ground, so think of golf balls don't fly away, and you think of all cows eat grass. So there's my A, C, E, and G. All right. So you can keep this page next to you, and we're going to move on to another activity shortly.